Hello. Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. How does it get any better than this? Welcome home as well. Welcome home to your home of Inspire Nation. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. We are going to have a really fun show here this evening. Although a bunch of disclosure first, or full disclosure. One, I seem to be having not just a bad hair day, week, maybe year, ever since baby Hannah was born, who's the love of my life. Jessica, who does the most amazing job cutting my hair, it just hasn't been working out so well. So I am having the hair day of all hair days today. And on top of that, we came back from Disney over the weekend, and my beautiful, wonderful yellow glasses have gone walkabout. I think Hannah Bear walked off with them. She walks off with a lot of things. We opened our new credit card thing, or Jessica did when we got home, and the card immediately disappeared. We are going to talk tonight about going from 3D, going to 5D, about ascension, about what we need to do to make this shift, or about a key element. This is a channel talk with me and Archangel Michael that I prepped for in advance. I might speak a little faster than usual, and I have great energy with you right now. I have national championships. It says Team USA. Technically, I'm on Team USA, but it's Team everyone. There's no USA, this country, that country. Point being, I woke up this morning with this very sore throat, and I'm fighting with doing a symbiotic dance with something today. And so I'm going to do my best to keep this a little bit short. We'll see if there's time for any Q&A. I don't believe there'll be time for meditation at the end, but hang in there. I'll see what I can do. All depends on my energy. But I have got to get myself to sleep here tonight, and get myself to sleep here early if I'm going to stay healthy this week, and if I'm going to be able to requalify this weekend. Because that's a true honor and joy of mine, but I have to stay healthy. Okay, where are we going with things? Let me pull up my notes here. It'll be a little bit of a chatterbox. What's interesting is, and Bhavik, who is in my ears, he's my sound engineer, or my everything engineer for YouTube Lives. He will attest to, about 2 minutes before I went on air. Okay, about 2 seconds before I went on air, I was a complete and total zombie. And now I am fully plugged in, and I've come back to life. But it is temporary, and then I go back down again. I'm also sweating like crazy because I went to the acupuncturist earlier today, and he said, you need to sweat this out, Michael. So I have hot drinks. I've got hot soup. I've got hot sauce. I've got ginger shot. and I am quite warm right now. So, all right, let's see where we begin. Actually, I guess that is where we begin. If you're not feeling well, you tend to feel at your worst in the evening. There's an expression that Dr. Wayne Dyer used to use years ago. You squeeze a lemon, you get lemonade. What that means is the challenges that are running around inside of us, and I'll speak for myself, we all tend to have challenges, tend to come out the most in the evenings. So for myself, how I'm feeling comes out most in the evenings. A runny nose, for instance, is actually getting out what's inside of you. It's a good thing for you. But we also have runny egos, runny wounds, and runny who knows what else coming from the subconscious. It's why we're working on that in the School of Mystics right now. This all comes out at night to be cleared. It's actually, like I said, the benefit of a runny nose. Now, the trick is that at night, we often see ourselves as victims. We say, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what this person did. You wouldn't believe what this happened. And the other thing happened. And the other thing happened today. We are never victims unless we victimize ourselves, unless we put ourselves in the role of victims. Now, I talk a lot about, and this is a channel co-creation with Archangel Michael, myself. We talk about things, I write things down, I ask questions, we come up with this talk for you here this evening. And that's how I teach my classes as well. In this world, I talk about a matrix. I talk about not a big bad brother, big bad something that's, evil force that's controlling everything. But there is this power structure that does tend to keep us down. And that's perfect, because that power structure that helps keep us down helps us actually to rise up. And that's where it gets really cool. I'm looking to see if I brought Kleenex. Oh, tiny bit. Hold on here. Okay. That which keeps us down helps us come up. That's what tamps us down, helps us grow stronger. That what resists us helps us to resist as well and grow stronger still. So what does this mean? It means that the system's in play, the system that is in place counts on us victimizing ourselves so that can victimize us. In other words, counts on us picking on ourselves at night, becoming weak, becoming frail, becoming angry with ourselves, becoming disappointed, becoming, I give up to the world so that it can do what it wants to do, which is really take all the profits and the power and leave us there going, help me. But I want to give you back your power. And since we're talking about ascension here and moving from a 3D world to a 5D world, we don't ascend if we're going, help me. We ascend by going, boom, I'm in my power. Or as Honey Bear, my daughter, likes to do, also known as Honey Bear, da. Da means I am in my power. So the system counts on us being easy prey, counts on us picking on ourselves from our wounds, counts on us creating new wounds and pouring salt in the wounds. So our first job, if we are going to ascend to madness, if we're going to rise beyond this heavy 3D world, if we're going to go beyond a world of, don't even get me started on war. There's no point and place for any war, period, done deal, end of story. There's no point or place for anybody hurting anyone. Done deal, end of story. If we're going to ascend that or transcend that, it actually begins on the inside. Excuse me. The less you are, the more that you do the work on the inside, the more you become untouchable on the outside. And this is the teaching. We get to help make you untouchable or invincible on the outside. So, one of my all-time favorite books, maybe it's one of yours too, not an easy read to say the least, is Dr. Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. This is someone who was locked up in a Nazi, not just in a Nazi concentration camp, in Auschwitz, the concentration camp of all concentration camps, maybe the worst concentration camp to be in. He lost his wife. He lost his daughter. He could have lost all dignity. He survived. I think it was 1 or 2 pieces of moldy bread a day was all that he had to eat. And yet he was completely and totally untouchable. Why? He went after his wounds. He actually wrote a book on going after your wounds. He became invincible because he didn't let his wounds get to him. It's not the outer world that takes us down. It's the outer world driving and fueling and feeding our inner wounds so that we tear ourselves apart. What is autoimmune? Typically, not always. It is ourselves tearing ourselves apart because of the inner wounds that we've been gifted. They didn't come from you. They didn't start from you. But once you get at the inner wounds, now, this gets to the whole concept of prahabhama karma, which means your life path. If your life path is that autoimmune is going to stay there, it stays there. If your life path is that you won't make it through, you won't make it through. But generally speaking, you become so much stronger. No matter what you've got going on, you become so much more invincible once we get at those inner wounds. Yeah, that's what we're concentrating. People can tell you all about it here in the chat. That's what we're concentrating on in the School of Mystics right now. Do come join us because I'm bringing you back into your power seat by stripping out those wounds, by stripping out those blocks, by reprogramming you or giving you new programming. So we can bring light to the darkness. That's actually this theme coming up in December. Everything that we're teaching is about bringing you into the light, coming from the darkness. The darkness are your wounds. The darkness are your blocks. The darkness is everything that you've been given. We remove the programming that's kept you in the dark. And guess what? You're so bright, you need to wear shades. You are so bright. We could literally look at you under an electron microscope or any other powerful microscope, and you'll literally see your cells glowing. Our dog, Coyote dog, 2/3 Coyote or so, a third Blue Heeler, Australian Shepherd, when we looked at her cells the night before she passed, even just before passing, her cells were glowing, quite literally. To get that glow out from inside of you, we get to work on a daily basis on reprogramming you. And here's a key program that we get to work on: our feeling of being less than. That is so huge. So we look at television, and television's been around since what? Late 40s, early 50s, somewhere in that time frame. What we don't realize is that that's giving what? At least 7 decades, maybe more, that advertisers and advertising companies have had time to perfect the skill of making you feel like crap. Advertisers have had at least 70 years to perfect the skill of helping you feel like crap. Why? Well, if they tell you you're like crap because, well, they show you the girl, but you don't got her. They show you the guy, but you don't have him. They show you the outdoors, but you don't got that. They show you the money, but you don't got that. They show you the bling, but you don't have that. If they can make you feel like crap, then they can sell you crap. They can say, if you want to get the guy, if you want to get the girl, if you want to have the relationship, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be happy, if you want to run this, if you want to do that, if you want to, because you're not good enough, then we're going to give you this thing that's going to make you feel good enough. That's what the political system does as well. That's what newspapers who are selling advertising do as well. A newspaper will never make you feel good. I know today's daily rags are what? Pixels. They will never make you feel good, because then you feel like you are enough, and then you don't need what they're pimping. The biggest message we're talking about today is you are enough, you are good enough, you are more than enough, and you have been programmed to believe that you are less than. Newsflash, you ain't less than. You are the creator. You create with what's in here. You create with what's in here. You create with every thought, every action, every bit of your beingness. And I'm hearing this going on because this is channeling with Archangel Michael, who is challenging me to do even better about this as well, saying, Michael, you are the creator as well. Well, thank you. Yes, I am. And you are too. Ads are all pervasive. Advertisers are all pervasive. The system is all pervasive. We went this past Thursday and Friday. Oh my God, it was awesome. Took Hannah Bear to Animal Kingdom on Thursday. Took her to, I was surprised. I thought we'd be in Animal Kingdom 2 days. We went to Magic Kingdom on Friday, and we had a blast. We had so much fun. She lit up. She loved seeing all the other kids. She was running all over the place. The expression to and fro, I don't know where it comes from, but she was certainly running to and fro. But you could see the programming. They call you friend if they want you to do something. They call girls princesses. I'm not sure what they call the boys, but they call the girl princesses. And it's all this programming, because a princess requires her prince to be whole, requires her prince to be in power. There's all these subtle statements that I don't know that they're meant to be done other than to get you to buy things. But all these subtle statements that take place, and Disney, I'm not picking on Disney, they're just a microcosm of the world. Now, how do we move past this? Well, first off, we get to notice, recognize the programming that's taking place. One could become hyper aware of the programming. Oh, wow. They're calling me this. They're telling me this. I see this ad. I see that ad. I see this going on. And you can become hyper aware of it. What they're doing, all of them, they're perpetuating stereotypes. Well, guess what? You and me, we ain't stereotypes. We aren't even monotypes. We are our own unique creator, our own unique being. So we can become aware and then step in our power by noticing, but not doing the dance. That's what we all get to do in this lifetime. So when it comes to relationships, we don't do the dance. When it comes to the government, we don't do the dance. When it comes to purchasing things, we don't do the dance. What does that mean? It means we get to recognize that every method of control is using your wounds. Now, a great relationship, whether it's with the government, whether it's with a child, whether it's with your own Pookie or Hoobie or whomever, great relationships, uh, oh, I almost want to say hurt. What they do is great relationships challenge you to recognize your wounds. They challenge you to be able to witness your wounds, to be able to change them, to be able to levitate or live at a higher level than your wounds. So observation is half of anything, but observation without recourse only makes you weaker, only makes you succumb even more to the wiring and to the matrix. So if you're in a relationship and you realize, first off, your partner is never victimizing you. They're always pointing out your wounds, which hurts like hell, so that you get to work on them. If you've worked on your wound and they go and they say something to you that used to make you feel icky and you've done the work, you laugh at it. You go, nice try. And they go, oh, that doesn't work. And it's not that they don't love you. It's that a great relationship is picking on and plucking at your wounds to help get out what's festering underneath. And that doesn't always feel easy. So the Hollywood idea of a relationship where you live happily ever after, well, Disney again, you live happily ever after, and you don't lean into each other's wounds. You don't bring light to the darkness. It doesn't get you anywhere. You don't ascend. You don't evolve. If we're going from 3D to 5D, if we're learning how to ascend, we need to bring light to the darkness. The wounds need to come out into the light. That's how we ascend, not by taking a pill and going kumbaya, man, and suddenly floating up. We all get to do, we can call it the work, we can call it playtime. We all get to go into the darkness. Observation without recourse only makes you weaker, only makes you succumb to the wiring and to the matrix. So the question is, as I was saying earlier, is there a big bad matrix that's trying to control you? It's actually a topic that I talked about in Lynn McTaggart, a show we released last week. It released and had all sorts of algorithm challenges having to do with Thanksgiving. So we're tweaking the show. We're going to re-release it in a couple of weeks for you. It's going to be even better. And so stay tuned for that. But what was interesting is she talked about we are living in a world of hyper capitalism, in a world where there's no one big bad thing. But there is a desire of those that are in power to stay in power. And boy, do they have the power now. Those that have the money, and like, what is it? 8 people in the world have 75% of all the money. 8 people total have 75% of all wealth in the world. Is that crazy and not an equal world or what? Well, it's not equal out there. It's still equal in here. But hypercapitalism demands that we keep spending, demands that we keep buying, demands that we keep drinking what they're giving us. And so they can try to control us to do this, to do that, to think, well, I need a car. I need this better car in order to be worthwhile. I need this better relationship in order to be worthwhile. In fact, we're told to buy a car that'll hurt the planet, to use a fuel that will hurt the planet, that there need to be more money for bombs so that we can hurt everybody. It's all about the buy and spend. Here's the thing, though. Can't blame them. Can't blame anybody. Nobody's a victim here. Where does this desire to build, buy, and spend come from? It comes from a feeling. It comes from an internal wound that we've been taught as kids that we are not enough. As little kids, you go to Disney. You're not tall enough, or you're not enough until you're tall enough to ride this ride. And Hannah Bear was tall enough to ride the go-karts this time. How does it get any better than this? And we actually bought her taller shoes so she could ride the ride. And she actually hit her head on the height thing. She didn't need that. But she was tall enough to do the go-karts. And then we got this go-kart that was just like a drunk cart. But that's a story for another day. Excuse me. You're not enough until you're tall enough to ride this ride. You're not enough until you do this. You're not enough until you do that. You're not enough until you achieve this, until you achieve that, until you get an A, until you. The list of you are not enough is the greatest control mechanism on the planet, bar none. We think fear is what controls things. Fear does control a lot of things, but fear comes down to one thing. I am not safe enough. I am not protected enough. I'm not going to be okay enough. It all comes down to the you are not enough. And if I can convince you, if I want to be a really great, I don't know what, then what my show should be about is convincing you that you're not enough so that I can then sell you the magic elixir. You are not enough until you take this magic elixir of hot sauce, and then you will be enough. So buy this hot sauce from me. That's how the world works. You will do my bidding, whatever it takes to be enough, if I can convince you that you are not enough. A teacher, many teachers, not the best teachers, but many teachers will say, you are not enough in my class. I can remember, oh my God, I remember a class on computer programming by a guy who designed whole missile systems for destroyer fleets. And he had said something to the effect of, there's only so many A's I'm going to give, so many B's I'm going to give, so many C's you're going to give, because I need everybody to fight against each other to get their grade. And he would tell us that we're not enough unless we got a good grade. I didn't buy into that. I wanted everybody to work together. I wanted to help everyone, which went against that very desire of only so many people can be enough. That lack mentality is what gets us in trouble. So those that are in power don't just hold all the cards, they hold all the power. They hold the power to yank things away and to make you feel worse. Well, then you can't get an A. Then you can't get this car. Well, interest rates are up, then you can't get this loan. There's the chance of war, so you can't get a state of peace. They pull all the chips away for you. However, the way the world works is the real chips are the internal chips. That's why I'm doing this teaching with the School of Mystics. That's why there's so much other of this beautiful work as well, to do the work on the inside. Saying do the work on the inside isn't this warm and fuzzy, oh, just don't do the work and you'll be fine. But what happens is when you strip out that you are not enoughness, and that's what we're teaching, particularly the School of Mystics right now, but if you, and all that subconscious programming, if you strip out that belief system that you are not enough, it removes this cloak of darkness so that you can start to finally see it yourself. What happens when you finally see yourself? You're back in your power. You're free from the I am not enoughness monster. And the I am enoughness monster keeps you at bay. It keeps you hiding in the closet, but not just in the dark. It keeps you hiding in the closet in the light, not realizing that it's light, just waiting for a monster to come out and pounce. So you may be struggling with bills. You're told you're not enough. You may be struggling in relationships. You're told you're not enough. You may be told you're struggling with anything. You're told you're not enough. Because by design, the world wants to keep you unstable, to keep you out of your power. So the world is by design making you unstable. But the fact is, let's talk about instability for a minute. Every single person here, I see the comments flying fast and furious. I love you. I love everyone here. If I tried to fully read the comments, I would not be able to give this talk here tonight. How do I put this? You have survived everything in the world up to this point. Yeah, but I'm sick. I'm injured. I don't have money. I don't have this. I don't have heat. I get it. Oh my God, do I get it? There is a book or series of books on the why I get it. And even if I don't get it, with the number of people I've worked with, I do get it. And it's all a story that's been sold to you. Because in this very moment, you're here watching this with me. You're here chatting in the room with me, with so many great, amazing people, your family, your friends. You're here. You're safe in this one moment. In this moment, you are perfect. Perfect. No place to go, nothing to do. Even if it's just for a second, you got to get out of here. But we're taught you're not enough. You've got to think of this. You got to think of that. You got to worry about this. You got to worry about the other thing. You got to. That's the method of control that's hitting you, that's saying you may feel like you're all right now, but nothing could be further from the truth. But I promise you this, until the day comes that you truly go to the other side. And when you do that, judging from 2 near-death experiences and everybody that I had on the show, you're fine. But until that point, you're fine. They can't get you. Only you can get you. The only person victimizing you is you, and victimizing you from your own programming. You're torturing yourself. You don't have to. All of these fears, they wear away at your soul. The psyche wear away at your psyche. They completely eat away your soul, and they make you feel less than until you're completely hopeless. That's by design. I am not enough can literally kill you. Carrie Karenko. Oh my God. Amazing dear friend in grad school. I like saying that, in grad school. Amazing, amazing dear friend. She intelligent, beautiful, athletic. List goes on and on. Funny list, on and on and on and on. And had the most amazing dog. Took her own. I had the most amazing boyfriend. Not me. Most amazing boyfriend. She took her life. Why? She felt she was broken. She felt she was unfixable. She felt and believed and bought into that you are not enough. Heck, I can remember swimming and master swimming, and she was on the swim team with me. And guys would come up to me, and maybe she was before she was with her great boyfriend, or after, however it worked out. And they would say, is she single? Can you put me in touch with her? Blah blah blah. Amazing individual. Thought she was not enough. The system is designed to make you feel hopeless and helpless until you give your full power away. The keys to the kingdom of heaven are within you. Once you realize that you are the creator, once you realize that you are enough, 3D world to 5D world is about going from a world where we think that things are things to a world where we know that thoughts are things. Doesn't mean that things aren't real in this existence, but it's when we become one with the mind of the creator, which is ourselves, which takes place once we let go of the junk, the gunk, and the heaviness that we're stuck in. And all that junk, gunk, and heaviness comes from that one statement of you are not enough. And so right now, you and I mean, this is interesting that we're having this talk on Cyber Monday. And it's interesting. I have a list of things that we wanted to get on the fridge. I think I got to approximately none of them. Am I still enough? Yeah, I got a pulse. I'm still enough. But you didn't get this done, and you didn't get that done. You didn't get it. It's a hedonic treadmill. There's a hedonic treadmill of purchases. There's a hedonic treadmill of I must do this enough. I must do that enough. I must medicate enough. I must sub-medicate enough. I must numb myself up enough. You want to talk about the biggest need for antidepressants in this country? And I guess antidepressants is the number one med in this country, and the number two med is hypothyroid medication. A story for another day that certainly gets to be told. Why are these things so prevalent? And they certainly do go hand in hand. Depression and hypothyroidism go hand in hand. But why are so many people depressed? Well, I'd be feeling pretty shitty too if I was told how much I am not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. I haven't achieved enough. I haven't done enough. I haven't been enough. If I thought that day in, day out, day in, day out, and there was a place where a time and a place, not too long ago when I did, but if I thought that day in, day out, of course I'm going to be depressed. Please give me something. I'm not picking on anyone. Please give me something to help me rise up above my programming. Not realizing that's what they tell you to do. Not realizing there's a programming that we can yank out of you. Doesn't mean there's not a time and a place for anything. And I judge nothing or no one on nothing. Nothing on no one about nothing. I certainly have no right to judge on anything. Nobody does. So you're enough. You're enough. You're enough. You're enough. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You are the creator. You are the divine. You are incredible. And when you get that, Oh my God. Somebody's mentioning, I think, cacao is their antidepressant. How does it get any better than this? Yeah, got to have some chocolate, Annie. I got all the good stuff right here, right now. Excuse me. I've got my protection stone. I've got my chocolate. I got my Tabasco. I'm good to go here. So we end up self-medicating ourselves or numbing us up to the internal program that says you're not a lot and that you're not enough. And they offer you that pill saying, well, magically snuff out, or that drink, watch TV ads, watch alcohol ads, any of this stuff. You can have the, you get the beer, you get the girl, you get the party, you get the good life. If you take this one drink, if you take this one pill, and actually are kept it away from kids early in life where we're subjugating the kids and telling them not enough, but there'll come a day when you can have this drink. It'll make you feel better. Can you see the matrix? Can you see the pattern of control? We can break free from it because it's craziness. You are perfectly enough. Again, that's what I'm teaching. People can tell you all about that, though. We're exposing and exercising that, meaning like exorcism, we're yanking all of this stuff out, all of the subliminal programming out that says you're not enough. Why? There is no pleasing the monster. There is nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can achieve that will make you feel you are enough. So years ago, was it near-death experience number one? Near-death experience number one. I am 6, 8, 10 months later. I'm on my bicycle. How does it get any better than this? Old beat up Cannondale. It had a rack on the back of it, and I had my crutch. I was using polio crutches. I think they're called, or they're also called Canadian crutches. So it only went to your wrist. And I had one crutch. I was down to one crutch, and I had it strapped on the bicycle. And I would go to the gym, and I would swim, and then I would get back on the bike, go home, pull out the crutch, and on I went. And I remember this, to me, then amazing Porsche that drove past me. Didn't get too far ahead because there's city traffic in Boulder, Colorado, and I'm on the bike path. So I caught back up, and then he pulled away, caught back up, he pulled away. And I'm like, wow, wow, wow. That car, it's amazing. It's incredible. It's this, it's that. Which is actually a programming, and I can actually pinpoint that back to both a Porsche repair center near me and also Tom Cruise in Risky Business, and seeing the car go into the water. I later had to buy almost that same car. Again, programming. I pulled up on my bicycle next to this gentleman, the gentleman who, of course, he has enough. He has the most amazing Porsche. He's overweight, really overweight. He's got sweat beating down his face, and he looks miserable. Again, I don't judge anyone for anything about anything. I love everyone. My heart went out to him. Why? It's not about his weight. It's not about anything of that. You could sense this gentleman was about as far from happiness as he gets, even though he was in the car that should have said, you are enough. There is no pleasing this monster. You wonder why millionaires and even billionaires go completely insane and bananas and do the craziest badass stuff. Not badass, bat-ass crazy stuff. Because they still don't feel they're enough. There's no pleasing this monster. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say or achieve that will make you feel like you're enough. You simply have to stop playing the game. How do you stop playing the game? It doesn't mean you walk away from yourself, but instead you walk toward yourself. You walk toward security. You walk toward your strengths, which means, excuse me, you walk toward your wounds and then towards your inner knowingness that you are enough no matter what. The only way out of this cycle, and it is a vicious cycle, and I am, even the expression blown away is a violent expression. It's such a war-based society and a war-based language system, if you think about it, at least English. But I am completely blown away by us being here in the year 2023 and needing to kill each other for anything, needing to kill each other. I'm not agreeing with that, but that is what we're told, that the only way through this is to kill. A defense budget is not about defense. It is about buying more weapons and guns and stuff to use them. The only way out of this cycle is not out. It is not with another gun. It is not with another missile. It is not with another attack. It is not with another anything. Even though, of course, I've got my list of fridge on things for the show and stuff and things for Hana Bear that I would love to get. It's not about that at all. It's not about anything out here. It's not about what you do or achieve. In fact, go to an Olympic gold medalist. You want to talk about a person who has a very high chance of depression? An Olympic gold medalist. Why? Well, because they define themselves by what they were chasing after. Now that they've got it, who are they? They define themselves by what they were chasing after. Now that they've gotten it, what are they? They lost the chase. For a certain time, they're going to have that glow, that satisfaction. I am enough. I have my gold medal. And then what? For most of them. That's why you have a gold medalist, a double gold medalist, a triple gold medalist, a three-peat, a four-peat, a five-peat. What happens when there's no more peat? It's not about this. It's about this. Again, that's what we're focusing on in the School of Mystics. So definitely want to invite you to come join us. It is about this. Outer circumstances, I promise you, will always change. And right now, in the 3D world, for whatever reason, it's something I talk about so much. Oh my God, what an amazing interview I have coming up this Thursday with Jesse Herman, channeling a group of guides called Vagrian. Oh my God. Please forgive me. I grilled Vagrian. I really grilled Vagrian. I went for it with Vagrian because I wanted to figure out how we get out of this loop, how we get through this shift, how we get through this time period. And what Vagrian was talking about, and you have to catch Thursday's show. You don't have to. I highly recommend it. What Vagrian was talking about was, for some reason, humanity went off the rails and felt we need to learn with pain. We need to learn with pain and suffering. And that's where we are right now in terms of our ascension, is we feel we need to grow through pain and suffering. Heck, full disclosure, I used to feel I needed to grow, not on a conscious level, through pain and suffering. That's why the list of injuries that I had in the past was humongous, to say the least. We don't need to learn with yes, we don't need to ascend through pain and suffering. However, we must come together as creators and heal on the inside and be able to say to ourselves, I don't need my back against the wall in order to change. I don't need this pain and suffering in order to ascend. I don't need any of that junk in order to discover the creator who I am. Once we start doing that as individuals, and then we come together as groups and doing that, again, Lynn McTaggart and Power of Eight, all of a sudden, the whole of humanity, at least those who are choosing this, go from 3D to 5D and beyond. What happens to everybody else? A certain amount, how do I put this? Everybody comes through in their own way at their own time. However, humanity will make the shift. It's a matter now of how many people will choose it internally, how many people will make it through. That line I don't like, but that appears to be where we're at. And Vagrian's going to talk about that Thursday as well, not from a fear-based place, because you're listening to this. You are doing what it takes. You are going to shine the light on the wounds. I'm proud of you in advance. I know you can do it. So, for instance, let's talk about one of my greatest wounds at the moment. This beautiful, loving YouTube algorithm, which says that if you do not continuously feed the beast of YouTube and feed the beast of YouTube with more and more polarized content and this content and that content, you are not going to be rewarded. And so the question is, how do I keep a YouTube channel going or growing without feeding the beast, without feeling like I need to do more? And the answer is, I'm actually going to do more shows coming up, but in a different way so that it takes me less time to do them. I'm actually very excited about it. But I have to be very, very careful not to feed the beast, not to feel like, well, if I don't reach this many people, if I don't have this much on YouTube, I don't know. because what that's doing is creating an addiction inside of myself, an addiction that you are not enough, but if you do this, then you will be enough. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't feel good because it always leaves you feeling like you're not enough. And the key point being, instead of that, I get to, and we all get to, lean into the not enoughness. I won't be enough if I can't blah, blah, blah with the show. If I can't blah, blah, blah with my income. If I can't blah, blah, blah with my kids, I won't be enough. We actually get to lean into that. We get to lean into all the wounds, lean into all the traumas. Wounds are wounds. Traumas are traumas. They are certainly horrific at best. And actually, I'm going to be doing a massive clearing this coming month. And I'm not sure if it's going to be a bonus with the School of Mystics or if it's going to be a regular part of the School of Mystics. I have a special technique that I learned a long time ago. Came from the ethos, meaning came from the archangels, came from the other side to help people with really big wounds. I'm talking the biggest of big wounds, whether that's rape, trauma, incest, murder, death of a loved one, death of a dream, massive wounds that I'm going to be clearing next month. And where to go with that? Massive holes in your heart, massive traumas that we take on. They leave us unable to make decisions, unable to feel safe in the world, unable to believe that we're creators or that we can be in the driver's seat. That's what massive wounds and traumas do to us. Why? Because we're taught if you've had a massive wound or trauma, it's your own fault. Criminy. You can literally look at a rape victim if she or he is brave enough to go to trial and the other side saying, it's your fault. And we have embodied this. And we need to exercise this or strip this out of you and get you back into the light. Now, we're doing all that in School of Mystics. Of course, I want you to join. However, this ain't about that. This is about how you can start today. Today. You don't need me. You don't need anybody. I can help you on your path. Many people can help you on your path. You can help you on your path. How do we start today? First, look for one key pattern of I'm not enoughness in your life. One key pattern. I'm not fast enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not stable enough. My relationship is not good enough. There is no relationship, therefore I'm not enough. If you're not sure where the enoughness is, oh, you're not going to like what I'm going to say next. First, we get a lot of firsts here tonight. First, look at how you speak to yourself. I can tell you myself in the past, you idiot, you screw up, you, oh my God. A long time ago, it was POS. That's what I call myself. Look for the language that you tell yourself. And this is where it gets really crazy. And thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody out there. Thank you. Look at the language. Here we go. Can't believe I'm going to go there. That others are saying to you. If they're saying you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're an idiot, you're unreliable, you're undependable, you're unlovable, holy crap, or any of these things, guess what? You believe I'm going to say this? Well, first off, they're not true. None of those statements are true. I promise you, on some level, you're saying it to yourself and they're mirroring it back to you. We don't want to hear that. But on some level, you're saying it to yourself and it's being mirrored back to you. Because this world is a feedback loop, is a feedback mechanism to help us to heal, to help us to ascend, to help us to rise up. Yeah, but Michael, there's this big bad cabal and there's the this and there's the that. And because of it, we're not going to know. It's all a mirror world. to help us to ascend. At least until humanity chooses otherwise, that's how we work best. So if you hear people telling you what you are or are not, it doesn't mean you're that. Nothing could be further from the truth. I promise you, you're most lovable, amazing, creative, wonderful, vibrant, resilient, um, loving, incredible creator that's ever existed. I promise you, that's you. But your wiring is speaking otherwise, and others are hearing your wiring, even if you don't hear it on a conscious level. The outer world is simply a reflection of the inner world. We've all heard the Hermetic expression, as above, so below, as without, so within. That expression's been around thousands and thousands of years. The whole basics of a lot of, I'm going to say modern Egyptology, not the real Egypt, the ancient Egypt. We won't go there tonight. That would be a long story. And I'm still learning about that story. But Hermeticism, as above, so below, as without, so within. We live in a mirror world. So when people say things that hurt, when people say things that really hurt and that cut deep, what is happening? When they cut deep, what is really happening is this. They're hitting your core wounds in order for you to be healed. They're hitting core wounds in order for you to be healed. So when people say things that hurt, and they really hurt, they really trigger something, they really throttle you, the best thing that you can say to yourself, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Not may I have another, but thank you. Now I know exactly what I get to heal. Look for the wounds, look for the triggers, do what you can to get them cleared. Bring them to EFT tapping, go to a school of mystics, go to group clearing, go to, Dr. Bradley Nelson's emotion code, do whatever it takes to get them cleared, or at the very least, link your wounds to something else. What does that mean, to link your wounds to something else? It means see the pain as an antidote. See the pain as an antidote. What does that mean? Link something positive to every negative phrase. So if you call yourself an idiot, oh my God, I'm so stupid. What positive thing can we link to that phrase? Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. But I actually did this right. I did that right. I did the other thing. Oh my God, you're so stupid. But I've got an amazing job. I've got an amazing partner. I've got an amazing. Find every single time that you say whatever that key negative statement is, that you glue something positive to it. It could be that you look for something to be grateful for each and every time. What happens is the very statement that brings you down becomes the statement that brings you up. The pain is the cure. The poison is the antidote. You're so stupid. Actually, I'm really quite smart. You'll never figure that out. Actually, I figured this out and the other thing out. And the thing I figured out today is, wow, you're unlovable. You know what? I love myself right now, here in this moment. I love myself. The pain is the cure. The poison is the antidote. Link something to it. Every single time you catch yourself using disempowering program statements or anything of the sort, use it to create and bring something else. Now, I also want to give you a clearing statement. It's something I teach in class, but like I said, and I'd love you to come join me in class. And everybody in the chat who's from class can tell you why. Okay, I'm biased. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. There's many great things since sliced bread. However, here's a clearing statement you can use. So, and you may need to use this often. You may get to use this often. Let's say that you're walking around, and we don't typically say, I am not enough, because it's a subliminal thing. What we do say is, I'm stupid and I'm an idiot. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. I'll never this, blah, blah, blah. Let's say that you catch yourself saying, I'm so stupid. All right. You trip, you break something, you fall, you do something, you blew something up. I'm so stupid. Grab your phone. It's got a magnet in it. And I love it on a screen in front of me that's recording this. It says that my recording has 14 hours and 44 minutes left that I can record. 1444. Now, I'm an angel numbers kind of guy. Ones means in perfect alignment. 444 means call on your angels and you are supported and protected by the angels. So they're telling me I'm right where I need to be in this moment. Thank you, guides. Grab your handy dandy phone. It has a magnet on it. Use the clearing statement that I use or come up with something on your own that resonates with you. So, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, stop it, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and clear. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, higher self, higher team, all angels, guide, and light workers here for my highest good and the highest good of all. Please help clear the subconscious programming, wounds, blocks, traumas, walls, pains, and energy that is running inside of me, or something to that effect, or energy that is running inside of me that is calling me to feel less worthy, that is causing me to feel stupid, that is causing me to feel like an idiot, that is causing me to feel that I am less than. Please help remove these wounds, blocks, traumas, walls, subliminal messages and energies that are inside of myself. Now and forever, thank you. Put a hand on your heart. Ground yourself in. Take that magnet side of the phone or grab a refrigerator magnet. Run it over the top of your head. You may find yourself yawning. That's energy coming out. Rub it over the top of your head 8 or 10 times, maybe even a little bit more. You might feel chills. You might have gas. You might burp. Who knows what? And know that you have just peeled a layer of the onion away. And how does it get any better than this? Every single time you pick on yourself, you can use it to clear. Every single time you catch yourself saying a negative statement, you can use it as a time to clear. Every single time that somebody kicks you, puts you down, whatever they do, you can use it as an opportunity not to clear from them. But remember, we live in a mirror world, but to clear from yourself. And then remember, nature abhors a vacuum. Replace it with something positive. I like to do an EFT tapping technique. I'm going to give you the 10-second version of it. There are 8 different acupressure points I use. Here, karate chop on the hand. Here between the eyes. Here outside of the eyes. Here underneath the eyes. Here beneath your nose. Here in the center of your chin. Thank God for replay. Here an inch apart from your collarbone. And then directly beneath your armpits. And what I would do is, let's say that you said, I'm completely and totally unlovable. And then you went, Archangel Michael Raphael, and you clear that. Then what you want to do is go, I'm completely and totally lovable. I'm the most amazing, lovable person. I'm incredibly lovable. I feel lovable. I feel safe. I secure. I feel loved. I feel safe. I feel secure. I feel loved. You can do this with me. I feel safe. I feel secure. I feel loved. I am lovable. I am lovable. I am lovable. Angels love me. Guides love me. Elders love me. The world love me. I love me. I love me. I love me. I love me. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Tap and replace those wounds, or now the echoes of the wounds, with something positive. Since nature abhors a vacuum, fill that vacuum with something positive. Because if you don't, what happens is the way that vacuum or that shadow canyon is designed, it will fill itself with something else that will put you back in the disempowered seat. And after tonight, there's no excuses. I want you back in the driver's seat. I want you back in the power seat. I want you back in the power. It's from the driver's seat. I said this would be about the shift. We're going through it. And boy, is the shift hitting the fan. Talked about this would be about ascension. That's where we're at. For us all to ascend, it is going from victimhood, being stuck in the 3D reality, stripping out those messages, getting to a place of empowerment. And then naturally, without efforting, bring ourselves up into that 5D reality, into that higher space, but by stripping away the programming and stripping away the disempowerment that we have been gifted. So, hello, Disney. Hello, world at large. Hello, oligarchs. Hello, governments. Hello, all of it. We get to strip out all of that programming and replace it with everything we've got. This is the key. First, recognize. Second, remove. Third, replace. And then start super sleuthing for all of the messages outside and around you. It's actually outside and inside, because there is never just one. Never just one. There are so many messages inside of you. There are so many. I have done so much great work on myself. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I get a lot more work than I get to do. Maybe it's a lifetime's worth of work. Maybe that's what I came here to do, is to help clear all these wounds, to see how great I am. Maybe that's what you got to do this lifetime. Clear all the wounds to see how great you are. You're the creator. It's pretty awesome. You're inside of me. You're the creator. Deal with it. No, because that means that you're actually thinking you're a victim. Because if I'm in the creator and then this world around me isn't treating me well, then I'm a victim. Then I am. No, then I've created this. Therefore, I'm a victim of my own. No, you're awesome. You're perfect. You're awesome. You're perfect. You're awesome. You're perfect. Once you start pulling on these strings, the yarn of power and control starts to unravel. We start to see the methods of control that are keeping us down, particularly when we're energetically sensitive, when we're an empath, when we sense other people's emotion. It is so easy to control us, to keep us down, but we begin taking back our lives for our highest good, for the highest good of all. Certainly, how does it get any better than this? As we take back our lives, as we step into our power, new opportunities avail themselves. New things appear, new people appear, new opportunities appear. And often opportunities that were already there, sort of like being able to see the milk or the milk or the almond milk in the fridge that you couldn't, even though it was right before your eyes. As soon as you do that clearing, suddenly it appears, because removing the wounds changes your energy and changes your perspective and changes what we project into the world. Because it's not just a mirror world. We are the projectors of our realities. So as we strip this out, as we take away that dark lens, we project out what we're seeing and feeling on the inside, continuously creating a new world. That's actually the next thing that we're going to be teaching about. I probably will be teaching about it next week. That's what Archangel Michael is saying. He's saying next week, we are going to talk about the living art of creation, because you are the creator. And that to me is a mighty, mighty woo-hoo indeed. All right. I'm going to take probably just 2 questions tonight. I need to get myself to bed here. And so I'm scanning through. Oh, Mary Fryer. Yes, yes, yes. We definitely send love to your friend who's transitioning. Send love and send love and send love. And Gail for healing. Stardust. How can we push aside the not enough narrative more and focus on hearing our angels and guides more confidently, and in turn feeling more empowered? It's not push aside the narrative. It's lean into the narrative, hear the narrative, and bring light to the narrative so we can strip away the narrative. And then you hear your angels more and more and more. I passed a question about Bashar earlier, and Bashar saying that 5D is just an energetic realm. And I would say that we may be splitting hairs here, but 5D is a world that we get to live in that is completely re-engineered and reinvented itself. It's an electron state change, but we are still human beingness. We are here incarnate, not to go back to being pure energy, but we are here in our incarnate to learn how to grow, to learn how to evolve, to learn how to create. And so we are still creators, but we are creators at we will call it a higher energetic state. So we will go through an energetic state change. That's what 5D is. Do I know what it looks like? No, because I'm still in this incarnation right now, in this 3D reality, but will be much more based on energy, even though we will still have physicality here. because we came here to play, to tinker, to use our Lincoln Logs, to use, oh my God, I can't believe it's called Lincoln Logs, but to use our Legos and the like. Um, let's see. One last question. Chrissy, no matter how much I love myself, I'm still alone at the end of the day. Chrissy, you're not alone. You couldn't be alone. There is no possibility of you being alone. Are my angels and guides there? Yes, 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 yes. So, Chrissy, you can learn a process like automatic writing. That's one way to do it. You can simply sit and be with your angels. That's another way to do it. You could start talking to your angels. You can go out to nature and be with your angels. But I really want you to lean on this wound of I am lonely. If we can lean, Chrissy, on the wound of I am lonely and get to the core of that, bring light to it, be brave about that, do it with a group. You're not alone here. I promise you, Chrissy, you are not alone. But if we can get to that wound of I am lonely and I will always, that's what it is, Chrissy. I will always be lonely. I was born lonely. I was meant to be lonely. What defines me is my loneliness. If we can bring light to that, Chrissy, and exercise that, I promise you, you will never be lonely again another day in your life. That's the work that you get to do, Chrissy. And I'm so proud of you for sharing that with us here. Mary Parker, and that's the last question. Is it possible to love our traumas for the way they have helped us grow to become even more than enough? Is it possible to love our traumas for the way they helped us to grow to become even more than enough? Oh, absolutely, Mary. Absolutely, absolutely. And Mary is a member of our Backstage Pass where we put out lots of behind the scenes videos. And Mary and every Backstage Pass member, I apologize. I've got a bunch of videos from Disney that I haven't been able to figure out a way to get out of my phone and get uploaded. So please bear with me over the next few days as I do my best I can to get you all that Backstage Pass goodness and more. And that's that join link down below. Is it possible to love our traumas for the way they've helped us? Mary, personalize or personify your traumas. So I've got a chair next to me that Sir Meowser sits in, but I can imagine that sitting next to me is my wound of trauma of fear, my wound or trauma of not being enough, my wound or trauma of I must learn with injury or illness or who knows what. I can put those traumas next to me and I can say, I am so sorry you feel this way. I am so sorry. I love you so much. And I apologize. I don't need you to do that work anymore. I don't need you to do that work anymore. So I want to thank you for being a guide up to this point. I want to thank you for carrying me forward on the journey. I want to thank you for all that you've done for me. And I want to set you free. How do I set you free? I'm going to bring the light to you and either bring you back to the light or by shining the light on you, help reintegrate you with me. I'm going to help you integrate you with me. That's what the work is all about. Brilliant question on what the stone is, and it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm going to ask Jessica, because it has a lot of meaning, and I'm spacing the word for it right here. I want to say selenium, but I don't believe that's it. So I'm going to ask her what this is, and this stone I do use for the majority of my channeling work. I've used other stones in the past, and I used quartz crystals before that, but they would get hot over time. And no matter how much I cleared them, they would say burning hot. And so I've gone to this stone, which helps ground instead. All right. What I'd like to do now is just a 2-minute meditation, and then we're going to call it good. Again, we've got the links there if you want to come join us for the School of Mystics, or at least join us for a daily woohoo. Every single day, I give you an attunement. I help shift your vibration. I help bring you up. That's at dailywoohoo.com. It's a daily short newsletter that I do out of my automatic writing. And of course, we've got Thursday. We've got this amazing show with Jesse Herman on channeling Vagrian on making it through this shift. How does it get any better than this? So we've got lots of goodness to choose from. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes, and thank you for being here tonight. And thank you, Aya, for running everything. For moderating everything. Thank you, Anne, for moderation as well. And thank you, Bobek. Thank you, everybody on the Dream Team. Let's have you close your eyes. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. In and out. We're going to do something really fun here this evening. It's called teleportation. What does that mean? You see those puffy clouds? If you close your eyes, if you imagine yourself at a riverbank, whatever is your favorite riverbank that you've ever been to, maybe it's laying down on some pine needles by a riverbank. You hear the flowing water. It goes from somewhat of a trickle to this just melodic rhythm as you're listening to the river. It's so peaceful. It puts you almost in a trance-like state. You lean your head back. You feel your head on the pine needles. You feel your head on the earth. And there's not a care in the world till you look up at the sky and you see these beautiful, puffy white clouds and this amazing bluebird of a sky. You breathe in, you look at those clouds and you think, wow. You breathe in again, you think, oh my God, those clouds have it easy. Those clouds are just hanging up there. Those clouds are at such peace. Those clouds are... You may not know what happens, but all of a sudden you find yourself up laying instead of on the pine needles, but laying in a poofy white cloud. You're floating in the sky. You're on the cloud. You feel amazing. There's that expression, you're on cloud 9. And how does it get any better than this? And you look at yourself down below, the one down by the riverbank, the one who's at peace at this moment, but you know is struggling with something deep on the inside. They're struggling with a wound. They're struggling with a block. They're struggling with something that says they are not enough. But here up in the clouds, you know you are enough. You feel you are enough. You feel amazing. You feel great. You feel you can create. You feel spectacular. And what do you want to do? You want to help the you that's down on earth feel like they're enough. And so what do? Well, I could say, pull out a lightning bolt. We're going to make this a nice and gentle lightning bolt. This is a lightning bolt, not of electricity, but of pure light, like a laser beam. And you're going to shoot it down from the clouds right into the heart of that you that's on the earth. And what it's going to do is it's going to illuminate that wound. It's going to illuminate the I am not enoughness. It's going to illuminate that cycle that keeps repeating, that pattern that's in your head, that thing that says you're an idiot, you're stupid, you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough. It's going to illuminate it, and then it's going to melt it away. And you be in that light and you feel it melting away. You feel it disappearing. You feel it coming off of your heart. You feel it releasing its grip on your heart. You feel it completely, totally gone once and for all. And you breathe deep up in the clouds. Maybe for the first time that you can breathe deep in this entire life, you breathe in nice and slow. And you release it and feel so good. And you breathe in. And you release it and feel even better. And then you put your hand on your heart. And while looking at the you down below, you pat yourself, one hand on the other hand on your heart. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. I love you, Michael. I love you, whatever your name is. I promise you, and say this out loud to yourself or in your mind's eye, I promise you, you are great. You are perfect. You aren't just enough. You are spectacular. You are wonderful. You are incredible. You are magical. And you are the divine. You are perfect just as you are. Here, I want to give you a hug. And hug yourself and imagine you're hugging the self of you down below. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are perfect. You are precious. You are spectacular. You are the creator. You are the divine. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. And I love you just the way you are. Don't change a thing. I love you just the way you are. And as you keep saying this, I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. You find yourself both still being up in the cloud, but coming right back down to earth. So you're patting your chest. I love you just the way you are, and integrating with your new, whole, complete, wonderful, incredible, creative, divine creator of a self there on earth. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. I love you just the way you are. And as you come back down to earth, you find, wow, I'm powerful. Wow, I'm strong. Wow, even if just for a moment, I am perfect, just the way I am. And how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? So I send all my love your way. Definitely come join us for the School of Mystics. If you think we brought you up tonight, oh goody, are you in for a special treat? Or start with a daily woohoo, where I'm going to bring you up each and every day. How does it get any better than this? But I would love to play with you in the School of Mystics, so would everybody else here, and strip away all these wounds, strip away all these blocks, have you living at this higher level where you are saying, I am free, I am free, I am free. And then definitely come join us on Thursday for the most amazing show with Jesse Herman and Vagrian. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I have got to get to sleep. Thank you, everybody in the Dream Team. Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Bhavik. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, everyone. And I will see you again very, very shortly. Lots of love, everyone. Keep on shining bright. How does it get any better than this? Lots of love, everyone. Night.
We're being called to change. We're being called to this rising to an occasion, and the occasion is presenting itself. Really, what happens is very much in our own hands. Our consciousness is going to have to shift. Our minds are going to have to open. We're going to have to be able to accept and receive lots of really big changes that are right on the horizon.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitations. Shine, hold the sunlight on your chest and smile. Look to the sky, let your spirit shine brightly, shine brightly. Oh, shine. Share the magic deep in your soul. Feel glitter around you. Live your greatest truth. Catch those dreams, swim in beside you.